We have Tony Dreyfuss here, who is one of the co-founders of Metropolis Coffee, served all across Chicagoland, but their cafe in Edgewater just reopened. They did some remodeling to it, and now that people are getting vaccinated, people can actually meet and hang out for that wonderful cup of coffee that we all love. What was the spirit like, especially this past weekend where people could come back and into the cafe?
Oh, it was joyous. There were people literally sobbing. There were people that were just like laughing. There were people that were so socially awkward because they hadn't talked to another human being in well over a year. They didn't even know what to do, and they hadn't had their coffee yet, which didn't help matters at all. But I think bringing people back together into the space was cathartic. It was
Well, I think
incredible.
that's one of the things, whether it's friends meeting up, a first date, so many things that people bond over a cup of coffee, and that's one of the things that we've missed over the past 15 months is just getting to casually meet somebody, getting to learn our life stories, getting to share how our week was, with somebody. What does a cup of coffee mean to you?
Oh boy. So the coffee for me is the table stakes. I know a lot about coffee, right? Like I'm a certified Q grader, and I've been in this industry for over 20 years. But the coffee is the glue for the people. So in the cafe, there's people from our community who come together and drink it. In our roastery, it's our community here in Chicago, but it's also our customers wherever they are around the country, and also the producers in countries like Ethiopia and Brazil. So I think the coffee is the bondo or the glue that sort of holds it all together, the plasma of people over coffee, something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, at 100%. And as far as the location that you guys have, the cafe there in Edgewater, reopened, tell us a little bit about some of the redesigns that happened and maybe some of the new things that are on the menu.
Oh, thanks. So we built it back in 2003, right? And I was younger. I was in my 20s then. I didn't have kids. I have three kids now, and I'm, deep into my 40s. So uh, you stare at it and you stare at it for 17, 18 years, and you think, man, if I had another crack at that thing, what would I do? Plus all the work that I've done with other retailers opening their cafes. I've lived vicariously through them, but haven't really had a chance to put that into practice in our own cafe. So I wanted to be respectful of kind of the roots and the history of the cafe and the customers and what they're used to, but also take into account some of the stuff that I've learned over the years. Um, so I would say like everything that we've done in the cafe is toward the idea that we want to kind of make it fun. We want to make it an enjoyable experience. If people choose to get educated, it's kind of it's going to be coming from them, not coming from us. So we took, I guess, sort of that coffee elitism or snobbery out of it, and we brought in a bunch of stuff that people just want to drink and eat, but powered by our award-winning roastery and our staff that's trained and knowledgeable. And more than anything, though, I think it's about making people feel good. It's about making them feel like welcome and honored in the space, and creating an atmosphere in the product so that people can come together. And so far it's working. We're learning, we're adjusting, we're paying attention, and so we streamlined the ordering process. We added a draft system and a number of kind of batch brew drinks so that it speeds things up as you order and receive your drink. We brought in a chef, Chef Alex Munoz, who brought in like a breakfast and lunch menu with a turbo chef, so you can have a hot breakfast sandwich or mac and cheese or even a vegan spaghetti squash salad. We brought in Paleta from Paleta Factory. These two guys, this guy and his uncle, who craft these things down on the south side, and it's like paleta, but with all these craft ingredients, kind of a chef's interpretation of it. They're phenomenal. We brought in kombucha on draft, knowing that some people don't want to drink coffee, and actually I'm drinking something now we call Soma, which is going to hit our menu next week, which is actually brewed cacao with no sugar or milk added. So I guess we tried to fill in all those bits and pieces to create sort of this more coherent and experience that meets our customers where they're at.
What message do you have for people as far as, making sure, if you're going to go have a cup of coffee, if you're going to reconnect with a friend, to celebrate those small businesses that really make a community?
I mean, I would say that a lot of people value their community because of the independent businesses in their community. And if you don't visit them, they won't be there. Like, it's directly a function of going. And I think they will get to know you. You will get to know them in a way that doesn't happen in the chains. They can adjust to their community in a way that a chain can't. So personally, I think that that's the fabric of a community, are the small independent businesses.